Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you guys about Treasure Trackers. Tell us a little bit about the film to begin with.
Yeah, well, the film was being developed by StoryBoard Entertainment for many, many years, and it was something that was in our wheelhouse to do. We had made a short film called Hero that was similar to Treasure Trackers in a lot of ways, and that it had an ensemble kid cast. That short film was living on YouTube, and the producers happened upon our film, reached out to us, and asked if it was a script we'd want to read and potentially a film we'd want to direct. And so we read it. As a matter of fact, the night that they sent it over, I read it to my kids as their bedtime story. It was a 90-minute bedtime story, and they were terrified. You know, kids' imaginations are so big, and there's a witch in the movie, and so they were imagining what this witch might look like. And so anyway, after seeing their reaction to it, it was definitely something that I knew I wanted to do, and Nate had similar experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it had been kicked around for a long time, this script. I think Paul, one of the producers, had found it. His friend had written it just for fun, and it was like 15 years ago or something like that. So it's just been rewritten and rewritten. And finally, when we got it, I think it had turned into a Halloween movie, which excited both of us because the movies we grew up with, you know, Hook and movies like Homeward Bound, just all these movies, this kids genre that doesn't really exist now. I mean, there's a lot of animated kids films and a lot of animated kids content, but sort of the live action stuff has died. And I think that's sort of tragic. I think we both feel the same way because we look fondly back on those kind of movies. And not just in the 90s, but you go way back, the Disney movies that were live action, those were really influential to us. And so we were excited to have a small part in making those kind of movies live on. And one of the big aspects of doing that kind of movie is having a score. We, you know, for typically for this size movie, you're going to get an electronical score or you're going to get stock music. And so we were like, no, let's try and make this happen. And so we reached out to Robin, and somehow, some way, we got enough money to get an orchestra and do the score for real. So that's really exciting, I think, to feel like we put good work out there and that it adds something to the genre.
One of the reasons I was really impressed was the score because it really felt like the actors are great and they're very important, but kind of like that pulse and the heartbeat of the story was that score that was um constantly playing in the background and really raising or lowering the tempo depending on what we needed to feel. Can you tell me about working with that orchestra and making sure that you had the right music for the scenes?
Yeah, basically we were talking about the music or even before the shooting started. So we were developing themes, we were going back and forth, and I've been working with these two for Hero, their short film as well. So we really knew each other quite well, and we knew already that we are very much in sync about how the movie should play, how the music should work with the movie. And I wanted to make sure to have a score that is really like driven by themes, by melodies, by colorful orchestration, like really like bringing back these great classic score sounds that we all love from the 80s and the 90s. And I was fortunate enough that these two guys kind of made it possible to squeeze out enough budget to have the opportunity to record a 90-piece orchestra in Bratislava, which is absolutely insane for a movie of that scale. It's just absolutely unheard of. And we really wanted to bring out this quality. And I also wanted to emphasize on the Halloween theme that is going on by bringing in some special instruments that have more of these kind of more sinister colors. And so it was really a great, fun experience to just work with these two because they are also putting so much effort into the music. They really plan music ahead in their movie, and they really have a very strong idea what the music should transport, how it should elevate emotionally the scene and what it should do. So it's really a great, fun experience.
Well, I mean, music's so important to movies. People don't realize, but growing up, Drew's 4.5 years older, so he always had the camera, and we would do movies together basically every day. And he literally, if there was no technology, you know, there's a VHS camcorder. So he would press play on music, press record at the right moment. Wait, we do the scene with live music, stop it, back the music up, you know? So music's always been part of how we create together.
Yeah.
And Drew's so skilled at it.
Well, and yeah, the reason we'd be pausing the music in between shots is so that we could try to have it not be skipping between shots, because back then we had to edit in camera. So one shot leads to the next, to the next.
And there's always like a slight delay. So it was like, there's like a 1 second.
Yeah.
Drew kind of learned it's like press record now.
Yeah, that's right.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of fun making movies, which I mean, which is why it's probably your profession. How fun is it to be able to do a movie like Treasure Trackers that takes you guys back to some of the films that you guys grew up with and enjoyed, and now can make something that a future generation, if not the current one too, and whatnot, can also enjoy in the same fashion?
I think it was just a dream come true to be able to make a film, a feature film that was in this genre. It really started from the very beginning. We were just having the time of our lives. You know, we arrived here in Knoxville. We lived here for 3 months while we made the movie. But the first 6 weeks of that was pre-production, and Nate and I were out every day, location scouting, and we got familiar with every inch of this town and all the surrounding areas. We were exploring the forests, and we were meeting people, and we were down in the caves, figuring out exactly all the places where this film would take place. And it was an adventure of itself, just planning the film. And then once we finally had everybody get into town to start production, to be able to have the kids come in and to put them in these environments and to get these performances out of them was really a thrill.
Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate getting to spend a little bit of time with you guys and talking Treasure Trackers. Thank you for keeping this kind of film alive. Like you guys said, we don't really see it often. It's something that really made me happy watching it the other day.
Awesome.